I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. I welcome you to my ministry. I hope you guys are well. Today I've got a different kind of word for you, and it's a bit uncomfortable for me, but I had to be obedient and share this because the Lord wanted me to share this. The Lord took me through a vision or a dream, should I say, wherein He took me into the future and showed me how what we call the mark of the beast is going to be, rolled out, how it's going to be implemented. And in this vision or in this dream, I will structure it in a format of your movie scenes because that's how He gave it to me as well. Let's start with the first scene. Perhaps you want to grab popcorns at this point, and because it's going to be a bit of a long video. But on a serious note, let's start with scene one. It starts with me. Guys, please bear with me. I will from time to time be looking at my notes as well, so there will be times where I don't make eye contact. It's quite a lengthy one, so I had to make notes of this. Okay, fine. Scene one. It starts with me standing in between two skyscrapers in this modern city. Now, this city, the buildings in this city are not things that are far off. They are not things that we've seen in some of the movies. It's not a scenery where cars are already flying and things like that. No, we already have this kind of buildings. We can see them booming and popping up everywhere lately. These modern, futuristic-looking buildings. We see some of them in Midrand, or Shenzhen, or Singapore, and China. So we see these buildings. So it's those kind of buildings. As you can see, I've attached some of the similar images here onto this video. Now, this is their setup where I see myself. In my spirit, it feels like it's not a too distant future. It doesn't seem like it's some 100 years to come. No, it seems like it's a not so distant future. But nothing concerning actual days or time was revealed to me. So I'm just sharing what I've seen and how what was placed in my spirit during this time. So that is the first scene. And in these cities, it seems like your ordinary, your old school kind of buildings that we already currently have. It seems like they were really no longer there. I didn't see any of them. I just saw a lot of these modern buildings in this city. Fine, we move on to the second scene. Now, as I'm standing there, this is now scene two. As I'm standing there, I see this guy from varsity. I went to varsity with. And he sees me as well, and he comes over and we happy to see each other after so many years and greeting each other. And it is at this point now where I realize that actually I have a problem. I start realizing that I'm actually frustrated by a very prolonged job search. Like I've been looking for a job for very long, and at this point I was very frustrated. And somehow we discussed this, and he says to me, "Come with me. I want to take you to this place where you will get a job." Okay, fine. We leave. Moving on to the third scene. The third scene may be a bit sensitive, but I will try and articulate it in ways that will not offend anyone. But I have to share what I saw, unfortunately, for those who may be offended. But I will try and avoid offending anyone. Now, he's now accompanying me to wherever there are jobs. As we pass by, we see this man in a black blackish or grayish suit. Now, this man is standing there, but there's something that is a bit off with this scene. To his side, there are a bunch of women. I don't remember the number exactly. But these women seem to be struggling over themselves, over each other. They're fighting over something there. And this guy throws something in the air, but I can't really see what that thing is. But it's placed in my spirit that that thing had something to do with job offers. And it's placed in my spirit. So he's offering actually jobs to these women, and these are jobs in exchange for pleasure. I think by now you get what I'm saying. And these women are fighting over that sport. Women are actually fighting over themselves just to be the ones who get to satisfy this guy's desire for a job in exchange for a job. Few jobs, a lot of people who are actually gunning for that job. So that is the scene, and that happens now. Fine, the dream moves on to the next scene. Now in this scene, after experiencing what we see, I see with the women and the guy in a suit. All of a sudden now I find myself alone in a laboratory, in like a modern lab. The guy from varsity is no longer with me now. Okay, things are not making sense now at this point in time, but then I'm restrained by some people. I can't see their faces, I can't see them. Because I couldn't see exactly what was happening, but I was restrained by these people. And in this whole process, I started feeling pain on my face, like serious pain. And now I see they are like scraping off my skin from my face. They're like removing my skin and replacing it with synthetic skin. Okay, I had to, just a disclaimer, I had to, after this whole dream, I had to Google synthetic skin, and I've attached images, and you can learn more about it as well. So they are attaching this, they are replacing my skin basically with synthetic skin. But as they are replacing my skin with synthetic skin, they are placing a mark, a digital mark on my forehead. And in my spirit, I hear this word continually. It says a digital fingerprint. The word keeps ringing: digital fingerprint, digital fingerprint. Okay, at this moment, the Lord places it in my heart to say they are actually doing this for those who are revolutionary, those who are resisting the mark. They are actually forcefully placing the mark on you. That's why this guy lured me under the pretense of a job offering. He lured me into this building, into this laboratory, where they actually grabbed me and forcefully removed my face and replaced it with a synthetic skin. So it means I was going to get the mark, then they would replace my skin with the synthetic one, and meaning the next person would not necessarily know that I have the mark, basically. So now, as we grappling there, as they are doing this, I noticed something. As I look down, I see that they actually had replaced my foot, one of my foot, with a robot foot now. Okay, fine. Okay, now I'm grappling there, but somehow I managed to escape. Fine, okay, let me leave it at that. And then as I escape, now we're moving to the fifth scene. Yeah. Now here, I have escaped, and I'm now taken to this place where I meet others like me who have also escaped similar ordeals. Okay, fine. There somehow we find guns, and we find this futuristic looking guns. And I think as I have been going through the internet, I think I've seen these guns already. They exist. Some of what I've seen in the I've seen these guns. They already exist, even though they may not be officially, in the market or whatever. But I think they already exist. So we're fighting now. We're fighting with the we're actually running, and they're chasing us now. As they're chasing us now, we're in scene 5. What I noticed there are drones. Guys, drones are now being weaponized. I think even currently they are already used in military. What I've seen there is that these drones will be used to track people and shoot people and fight people. This is what was happening in there. These were not human beings in planes. No, they were drones that were actually attacking us, and we were fighting against those drones. But something disturbed me in this whole process. A lot of people had taken the mark willingly without any issues, and they were helping the authorities to track and trace and to track and fight us, those who were actually against the mark. That was very disturbing. A lot of people had taken the mark without no issues whatsoever. Fine, and yeah, the dream sort of ends in a way, meaning the movie part ends, and now I'm still in a state, I don't know how to explain it, but those who have had this kind of visions and stuff, they will be able to explain, to understand what I'm saying. But in that, now this is the part where the Lord now outlines to me exactly what He has taken me through. This is the most important part. Now, what He says is that we should look at the world and see what is happening around the world. The tension that is happening around, the economy, the economic oppression, how things are getting a bit harder and difficult for people, how jobs are getting scarce and more scarce and more scarce. This is a build-up to a point where people will basically be dependent on the government, where resources will be scarce so much so that we'll be scraping off for whatever that's there. Meaning, this is disempowerment of your people and placing them under the control of authorities. So what will happen is you will be without a job. Technology will keep on improving and replacing human beings. When you go to shops, when you get to all these sorts of places, you will find machines instead of people. So more and more people will be unemployed, and governments will be pushing people into grants. They will be building a very unhealthy dependency sort of system, and this will happen throughout. That is where the authorities will be able to control, because food, supplies will be bargaining chips. The authorities will be able to control you. They will be able to bargain with food and say, do as we command you so that you can eat. Do this, do that. Now, but what is very key to this, the most important thing is that this oppression, this economic oppression, this control, this whole thing, the main idea would be to give people the mark. So the Lord got me to share this. What we can see is that it's not like I think it's not. This is not something you can wish away. We already can see that some companies are shutting down and lots of people, thousands of people are losing jobs, and governments don't even seem to be concerned that much. This is something that will probably continue happening. More and more people will keep losing jobs, and no new jobs will be created, and we'll find ourselves in a state where we are now desperate. And I think with those who are in South Africa, we can already see the tension that is there, to a point where the locals are starting to feel the pinch of the unemployment rate, to a point where now they are pushing out foreigners. I won't be surprised if I see this trajectory in every nation around the world, where locals are starting to scramble for jobs with foreigners and pushing foreigners out. I believe this is a build-up, and based on what the Lord has shared with me, and just outlining this strategy on how they're going to implement the mark of the beast. And I want to encourage both believers and non-believers to say, guys, certain things we don't have to sit there and be scared of. There are realities that will come, and those who understand the Bible truly will know that some of these things are prophesied, and there's no two ways about it. So there is no need to be scared. I'm not sharing this word to scare you, and I believe the Lord was also not sharing to scare you, but just to give you the knowledge, give you the understanding, and also prepare you mentally, because we need to be prepared. We have to understand that what is waiting for us in the future. I don't know whether I will still be here or I don't know, because I was not given dates, but I was shown what, according to me, what I saw was not too distant, because already we have the drones, we have the buildings, I've seen the weapons as well. I don't want to speculate on timelines, but I didn't see flying cars there. I didn't see the most advanced technology that we don't currently have. Yeah, so we know that we can only find our refuge in the Lord. And when you are in the Lord, even when you are persecuted, even if you resist in the future and you are perhaps unalived, you know that you will be going to a better place. For those who perhaps do not have interest in Christianity, do not have interest in the Bible and so, I actually want to encourage you to use this opportunity, to use this video, to do some research yourself and really understand and learn what's out there. Perhaps you might really understand and see that indeed the Bible is true, and with a little of your own research and observe the world, what's happening around, and see. Perhaps you might be encouraged to change your ways, and follow Jesus, and know that in Him you will be fine, even if you are persecuted or unalived later on. Should this thing happen in your time, you won't have anything to worry about. But yeah, I think that is all. I tried to really keep it low, short, and I think I did a good job. But anyway, I hope this message will be very informative to you. It will bless you, and may the good Lord Himself find you and your families and bless you abundantly. Until we meet again in our next video, stay blessed.